Okay, so Wimbledon's underway, and wow, Taylor Fritz is just uh, everywhere in the headlines right now.
Yeah, definitely. More than just his forehand this time.
Exactly. It's this wild first-round match he had. We've been looking through all the chatter around it,
Mm.
and it's quite a story brewing. So for this deep dive, we really want to unpack what's got everyone talking about Fritz. The drama on court, the reactions online,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Right, and what it tells us about high-stakes tennis and, well, public attention these days.
Yeah. We've got news clips, some analysis, social media bits, trying to get the full picture here. So let's dive in. The main thing really is this curfew issue.
Controversy, yeah.
Fritz was in this incredible match against Giovanni Mpeci Pericard. He'd come back from 2 sets down.
Which is just massive in itself. A huge mental and physical effort.
Totally. He was like properly on fire, building all this momentum. You could feel it shifting.
Yeah.
And then bam, just as it's getting really intense, they suspend play. It was around, what, 10:20 p.m.?
That's right. 10:20 p.m.
And the thing is, Wimbledon's curfew is 11 p.m. sharp. So this was, almost 40 minutes early.
A significant chunk of time left, potentially.
All right. And the crowd, they were not happy. Lots of boos. And Fritz himself looked, well, pretty stunned. Frustrated, definitely. Yeah.
And that decision, stopping play then, it immediately sparked quite a bit of criticism.
You saw that too.
Oh, yeah. Analysts, former players. Many felt it was, well, premature. Even though the 11 p.m. rule is there for, reasons like local residents and logistics.
Sure, sure. It's a hard cutoff.
It is, but stopping so early, it kind of highlighted this real tension, didn't it, between sticking rigidly to the rules and, letting the natural drama of a match play out.
Yeah, it raises that question, like what's more important sometimes, the schedule or the sport?
Exactly. Do you prioritize the smooth running or the sort of raw, unpredictable moments that make sport compelling?
That's a great point. But the story didn't just stop at the umpire's call, did it? It spilled off the court, too.
Right. The personal side came into focus.
Yeah, Fritz's girlfriend, Morgan Riddle. She also ended up making headlines. Partly for her style, sure, but also for how visibly emotional she was during the match.
The cameras caught that.
And she actually shared on social media how stressed she was, which I think gives you a real glimpse into the personal pressure cooker these matches are for everyone involved.
It really does. And it shows how, especially now, an athlete's kind of personal story, their emotions, they become part of the whole narrative, don't they?
Totally.
Her sharing that, it's not just a personal note. It gets amplified, folded into the media coverage, the fan discussion. It really underscores the kind of intense scrutiny these public figures are under, where even private feelings become public conversation pieces.
Yeah, it's like their whole lives are on display during these big tournaments.
Pretty much.
So all this drama, the curfew thing, the emotional aspect online, it all sort of hangs over Fritz's next match, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Sets the stage.
He's up against Gabriel Diallo, the Canadian player, who's been rising fast. And apparently there's already a lot of betting interest in this one.
You see that often. That betting interest, it's almost like a measure of the increased public focus, right?
Yeah, like a drama meter.
Kind of. Because that first match, with all its twists and turns and the personal stories now attached, it just massively ramps up the anticipation for what happens next.
It turns a regular second-round match into something bigger.
Exactly. It's a perfect example of how one single dramatic event can really shape the narrative for a player, maybe even the whole tournament, and capture interest way beyond just the hardcore tennis fans.
So wrapping this up then, what are the key things to take away from this whole Taylor Fritz situation so far?
Wow.
We've seen that clash, right?
Yeah.
Between the strict Wimbledon rules and the heat-of-the-moment drama.
Definitely that. And the way public interest just zeroes in, not just on the game, but on the people involved, their lives.
Yeah, and how this whole narrative is now following Fritz into his next round. It's an ongoing story. So turning it over to you listening, what really stands out to you from this whole dive into Taylor Fritz's Wimbledon drama?
Maybe think about how those really small moments, like a few minutes difference on a clock, can just completely change how we see a competition and grab everyone's attention globally, or perhaps just how connected an athlete's personal journey is now with the public stage they're on. Private stress becoming a kind of shared spectacle, something to consider.